So you just got done running a primary race against John McCain. How do you feel about it looking back, and what's the future hold for you?
How much time do we have?
As much as you want.
How do I look at it going back? I look at it as probably the most expensive doctorate I could have paid for. It was an educational experience, to say the least. Learned a lot. Learned a lot of things, what I maybe should have done, what I shouldn't have done. But going forward, I don't know. I really don't know what the cards hold for me. Most people know that before I started the race, I was involved in the fair tax state director here in Arizona, and I still am. So I am still pushing for comprehensive tax reform, our founder's tax. Another thing that was very, very near and dear to me is my veterans contract. That contract was a life pledge for me, and I will do everything I can to get that fulfilled. We have the contract with America's Veterans Group organization, which we've started, and our goal will be to go around the country getting every candidate for federal office to sign that contract, to sign on to fulfilling that. And then we, as our group, CAV, will keep an eye on them. We'll say if they approve the contract or not, if they're for it or against it, or ignorant of it, or avoiding it. And then once they've signed on to it, if they become elected, we will follow them and inform people where they stand, if they actually are standing for our veterans.
Are you going to be pushing them to pass things that are in the contract into legislation?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In any way, shape, or form that we can. But first, I think, and foremost, if you look at the contract and you read the contract, it includes one thing that I think actually puts it straightforward into their constituents' wheelhouse, meaning that one part of the 21-point plan is for all the people who are running for office, to put their offices in or right next to the VA hospitals.
Okay, so looking at the contract, officials have their offices in or around the VA facilities or hospitals. Do you think if we had that today, maybe what we just learned about the Phoenix VA could have been avoided in the latest IG report?
You would pray. You would think so. It's unacceptable. I've spoken with you before about the contract and why I got into it, because I find it unacceptable that anybody that has served our country, that has taken the oath to defend us, would ever have to return to the United States of America and have to beg for anything. 215 dead in the last 2 years because they did not receive needed service, needed medical treatment for their ills. Completely unacceptable. And I think that if we had had our congressmen and women, our senators with their offices right next to the VA hospitals, it absolutely would have been handled. And this would not be the case.